Looking to improve your life, brush up on your personal growth techniques? You are in the right place. Welcome to Life's Little Lessons with your host, author of Designing Your Own Destiny, Kevin A. Dunlap.
Hello, everybody. This is Kevin Dunlap with the Life's Little Lessons. And today I have another gentleman that is, I'm very interested in finding out what he has to say and the things that he will be sharing. And it appears that we're getting a lot of people from Australia on the show, and I'm absolutely so proud to be hitting so many cities in that area, knowing that there's a huge time difference between the two of us. I mean, it's afternoon my time, and it's early morning his time. But regardless of that, I've got a gentleman that's going to be on the show today. He has a company that he calls the Legacy of Champions. He's a life coach, and he's also a storyteller. So I really want to introduce you guys to Christopher Howson. Christopher, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
So Christopher, tell us a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do, and why is it that you do it?
Pretty much what it is I do. I craft stories. I use stories to weave my message. I use stories to inspire change in people, because what I've found is that I've always had a love of stories from young, and I've found that I'm always enjoying telling stories and taking people on a journey through stories. And through stories, I can give people meanings, and I can give them kind of like solutions, you could say, in the story. And the big thing is, I kind of want to give them momentum to help inspire change in their own life. That's why I love stories so much. And the other thing what I do is I love coaching, because what I've realized in life is that the mind, body, spirit has to be all connected as one. And so when I coach people, I help them to connect the mind, body, and spirit together as one. I help them to let go of what they need to let go, to be the person they were always born to be. So I help them to reconnect with themselves, not live what other people expect them to be, but live life for themselves. So that's what I do. The big reason why I do it.
Yes.
And the reason why I do it, I had to do a lot of soul searching in my life. I've experienced the highs of life. However, I've also experienced a lot of tough times, and there was a lot of times I was at my lowest. There was a lot of times I wanted to walk away from the company I started. I wanted to walk away from speaking, coaching. I wanted to walk away from life. So to all those people out there going through tough times, I know what it's like to be through that tough time. And I know what it's like to be at the lowest. So why I do what I do is that I told myself a long time, I'm not living life for me. I'm dedicating my life to others out there. I'm dedicating my life to helping as many people as I can in my life. So I do it for a reason bigger than myself, to give back to this world, to give back to people who need help. I see too many people struggling out there. So this is my way of using my life to help others instead of helping myself.
Well, yeah, and I'm assuming you're kind of helping yourself by helping others as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it gives me a lot of fulfillment and helps to give me meaning in my life.
So let me ask you this. How do you craft your stories? I mean, are these real stories, or are these just bringing out things and essences of other people and maybe changing their way they look at things? Is that kind of what you're doing, or?
How I do my stories is I kind of sometimes I use experiences from my own life, okay, and then I put it in a third person perspective, and I make it a story about someone else, when in actual fact it's about me, experience from my own life. Or I find stories involved. I like stories from Zen as well, so I'm always looking at stories on the internet to find, or I go through storybooks and find stories I can relate to life. So I kind of also use other people's stories or stories I find that can be quite relative to life and has a special meaning.
Okay. And that's the thing is I do feel that is how we all learn is through stories. That's the whole point of why people go to the movies, watch TV shows or whatever. Those are all, or I'm talking about episodic television, not just, like David Letterman show or something. We all learn through the stories. And not only that, that's how we relate to each other or through our stories.
That's true.
Okay. And so what made you decide to go down that road? How did you discover that was your calling?
I discovered my calling, and it's interesting. I had to have a very painful moment to realize what I was put on this earth to do. All throughout my life, you could say I was lost and never found. And I was doing a career that really wasn't me. I battled a lot of self-talk in my head. I went through depression for a long time in my life. And, I tried to get out of it through getting into the gang life.
Oh, really?
Through getting into, I had friends in the gang life, and I thought the best way I could earn respect was by hurting people. I had a lot of anger and hate in me and I was very quick to want to get into a fight. So I kind of went down that path because to me, I thought gang life represented family for me. To be honest, if you ask me about my family life, I'm not very connected with my family. So family didn't really exist for me. And I got into drinking. I was out at all hours of the night. I was giving my parents hell. Twice I nearly got into a fist with my dad.
Oh, wow.
And, I was kind of hurting a lot. And there was a mate of mine that saw that I was down. I hid it. I didn't tell anybody what I was going through, but he could tell I was hurting. And I told him I wanted to end my life. So I can't take this anymore. And I actually planned to just I knew where to get weapons. So I was actually planning to get a gun and blow my brains out because I was hurting that much. And you could say what helped me find my purpose. I've only ever had one girlfriend in my life, and now she's my wife.
Okay.
And and after we got married, 4 months before our wedding, my dad dropped dead in the shower. And that happened 4 months before my wedding. And in that moment, it had to take losing my dad to realize that life's too short doing something I don't love. And I had to reassess my life and ask myself, Chris, are you happy with what you're doing in your life? Is this something you want to wake up and do every day of your life? Does it give your life fulfillment, meaning, joy? And then I realized, you know what? I don't want to go down that path where I'm not doing what I love, because any second of the day, I could go in an instant. There's no guarantees. And that's when I realized, Chris, what do you love doing? I love talking to people. I love listening to people. I love sharing stories with people. And that's when I realized, you know what? It's time to really live your purpose, Chris. And that's why I created Legacy of Champions, because I want to create an army of champions that all of them each leave a legacy to help create more champions in this world. I really think we need more champions. And that's why I started the company. I really wanted to help people find their purpose, just like I found mine. And I want to help them leave a legacy that goes beyond their lifetime. And that's when I realized the vessel I can do this through is through coaching and speaking. And that's how I found my purpose.
The decision that you made to get out of the gang life, when did that occur, or what was going on in your head at that time?
To be honest, how I got out of the gang life, because of the gang life, I got expelled from high school because I was ready, as part of a gang initiation ritual, I was ready to hurt a teacher. as part of being accepted. And I feel what helped me get out of it. And once I got put into a psychologist's office, and because I got expelled, and I remember my mom was in the office and she was breaking down, and the psychologist asked her, said, was Chris ever like this? And she said to him, no, he was never like this. I don't know why he's doing this. And the psychologist asked me, he said, why are you doing this? I said, listen, I don't know. I said, don't ask me questions. I said, you get me angry, I'll hurt you too. I really don't care. I said, I don't care about living, I don't care about dying. And at that point, I was ready to live or die. And I believe what got me out of it is I was chatting, this good friend of mine that helped me realize that there's more to life than wanting to kill yourself. He also saw where I was going. And he said to me, he said, Chris, being a gangster, he said, does that help make you who you are? Does that help bring fulfillment to your life? He said, for everyone that's ever loved you, he said, what have they done to be hurt by you? And he said, why do you want to hurt innocent people? And for a long time, I thought that made me feel good. And after speaking to him and after thinking about what he said, I thought to myself, I said, no, there's no honor in this. What I'm doing isn't right. And then I was thinking, because I want to have kids as well, I was thinking to myself, what if my kid came to me and said, Daddy, what do you do? I was thinking, if I told him, oh, son, I'm a gangster. And I was thinking, no, I don't want him carrying on, following in my footsteps, what I've started. I said, no, I've got to do better than this. I've got to be legit and make it the right way. And that's when I realized that I'm better than this. I can be so much more.
Oh, and so you were still in high school when you made that decision, or was this after the 18, 19 years old?
You could say in high school, it still didn't sink in. It was after 18, 19. So after 19.
Okay. Well, that was a very mature decision that you made then. That's and obviously we're all glad that you got out of that, or you came to your senses that was not where you wanted to go.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
Okay. And now you help people make changes in their lives by coming up with stories that are either things that happened to you, things that you read or seen, or you asking them what is their story around a certain thing that may be holding them back. And is that what you try to do so that they can get past whatever obstacles that they're being faced with?
Yeah, pretty much. I also, when I was going through my thing, did a lot of work on the mindset, and I've also picked up some techniques. Like I did some studying of NLP, did training in that, because I wanted to also know the techniques. I wanted to know more about the mindset, how it really works in people. So I kind of incorporate those techniques in my coaching. And then what I do in my speaking, I like knowing people's stories. So I find their story. I find what it is their pain point. I find what it is that they're hurting and what's holding them back from moving forward. And once I get what's hurting within them, I then tie that back to a story that then initiates change in them. So pretty much through my storytelling, they tell me, I find their story. I find where they're at in life. I find where they're hurting. I find out what is the thing that's holding them back from living the life they want to live. So I then work on their mind. I work on what's the beliefs, what's the self-talk, what is everything that's holding you back. And then I tie it back to a story of someone who's made that change, where I tie it back to similar circumstances they're going through so they can relate to the story. And then I give them the meaning that, you know what, this person was once in the same position you were. and this is where he is now. So I empower them through my stories, and I just light that fire within themselves.
Okay, wow, that's very empowering because I know a lot of the times I had, it's like anybody like yourself, like myself, all of the viewers and listeners out there, all of us have had big challenges at some point, and something has happened for the better or for the worse at that particular moment in time. Yet that is who we are today is based upon those decisions or those events that occurred. Now, and you talked about NLP because I'm also NLP certified as well. And one of the things we talked about is in NLP is changing the stories, which in NLP is called reframing. Now you you have a frame that you have around it, and what you do is you get that event and you put it into a different frame. Now it completely changes the picture by putting it that way, by doing it that way, because your relationship to the story has changed.
Yeah,
and your meaning from the story has changed. So
that's true. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. I know I've said this on the show a couple of times before.
Yeah.
Is that when I was in the U.S. Navy and I joined it to go into the nuclear power program, and when I was finishing my initial training before going to the nuclear power school, I did not graduate. I graduated with a 89.6 GPA, and because of earlier events that had occurred while I was in training, I was not able to go to nuclear power school. So the whole reason of joining the Navy was now gone. Like I got 4 more years to serve here, but I'm not doing what I wanted to be doing. Yeah. And that put me into a different boat. But because of that, pardon the pun of the boat. However, because of that, I was actually stationed in Japan for 4 years. So I was able to. I saw a lot of the world. I saw Australia. Well, I've been to Sydney back in China, and it allowed me to see the whole world. That made me who I am today. So that one perceived negative event has caused me to learn from that and to see 12 countries, see multiple different cultures, live in other cultures, and it changed who I am today. If I would have gone to nuclear power school, most likely I never would have gone overseas. Because most of the nuclear powered ships were in the United States, in ports in the United States. So there was almost no reason to go to the Philippines or Japan or Australia or anything like that. So I'm just dovetailing off what you said is look at your negative events or perceived negative events and how can they be turned into a positive. Joining a gang, how can that be positive? Well, you now know the gang life. You know the mindset of those people.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. And you've been coaching for how many years now? For how long now?
It's been about 5 years now.
5 years? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of people. And I know you're discovering new things every day. Could you tell me about where do you see yourself over the next 1 to 2 years? Where do you see yourself going?
Where I see myself next 1 to 2 years, I aim to have like a specific number of clients. Also, in 1 to 2 years, I see my wife also doing coaching as well, because she's done NLP and she's good with all the coaching stuff. So I see my wife doing coaching. I see us doing a lot of events. Like I want to.
Doing the events together, or having your own events where you just support each other.
To be honest, I want to do half of them together because I think they'll be good having me a guy and her a woman. So I want to do half of it together, and she can also do her own events and me doing my own events.
Okay.
So I really want to kick off the events space happening. So next 1 to 2 years, I see myself doing a lot of events. Also see myself doing a lot of speaking gigs as well, because I really want to just get out there and inspire people and tell them to go after whatever it is they love. It doesn't matter how low they are or how much they get knocked down. I just want to tell them, just keep going. I've been knocked down more times than anything in life, and I'm still right here, right now. So I see myself doing a lot more speaking gigs as well. And I also see myself, especially 2 years, I see myself as being a father. And I also see myself as spending time with my wife and my kids, and us spending time together and going away together and just having that quality time with my family as well.
Okay. And let me ask you this. I know this wasn't something I had prepared you for, but what are some of the biggest challenges that you had as a business owner? I mean, it could be getting your first client. It could be anything. Anything. What were some of the challenges that you overcame?
I believe the challenges are like getting yourself out there. Mm-hmm. A lot of people I've noticed, I think to get yourself out there, a lot of people kind of hold themselves back by fear and belief. And I've noticed a lot of business owners, their belief is the thing that will get them out there, or is the very thing that will hold them back. So I think the biggest challenge is having the belief and knowing that you'll get there in the end. Because what I see a lot of time is businesses are trying to get out there. It's not working. They're not getting as many clients. And then the belief kicks in, and especially self-talk, the words they speak to themselves on a daily basis. They often say to themselves, oh, I can't do this. I'm not getting clients. I don't have what it takes to get out there. So I think belief, self-talk is a big thing. Mm-hmm. You've really got to have a strong belief, strong self-talk in yourself that you can do this, a strong mindset. You need that so much. Mentor, I can't stress this enough. I know when I didn't have a mentor guiding me, and if you've never done a business before, you're not going to know the in and outs of it. You're not going to know, where do I go to point A? Where do I go to point B? Like, you need someone who already, how I look at it is this: you need to connect with someone that's already there doing what you want to do. So you need to learn from them, have them mentor you so that you know what you need to do to get where you want to go. I think a lot of challenges are people don't have mentors out there guiding them. Another challenge is people think that they can do this all themselves, that they don't need help. I think the challenge people would face is finding a community that supports them and empowers them. Because sometimes getting your business out there can be sometimes a dog-eat-dog world. And sometimes businesses are wanting to step on top of each other. And, there's that collaboration isn't there. So I think getting your business in an environment where you're not doing it all alone, that you've kind of got that support network in place. I think you need also a very big support network. And also knowing your ideal client. It amazes me how many businesses that I talk to, the owners, they don't know who their ideal client is. They don't know who it is they want to serve. So I think they need to really get clear on their ideal client, their target market, knowing who it is they want to serve. Also, marketing. Like, I don't know anything about marketing and sales, but I learned from my mentor the sales component of it. And also the marketing, I'm learning the marketing, or I'm finding someone that knows marketing. So I think those are quite a lot of, those are the common ones that I kind of had to face in getting myself out there.
Yeah, and I'm going to say I fully agree with you. One of the things I always harp on is who is on your team. And having a marketing expert, a branding expert, a coach or mentor, even an accountability partner if you're a solo entrepreneur. And having those in place, because I know I've got a friend of mine, I just spoke with her today. I live here in Las Vegas, Nevada. She lives in Vancouver, Canada. And we talk on a weekly basis, and we're each other's accountability partner. And we're talking about that today. We've known each other for going on 4 years, and without her help, I would not be anywhere near where I am today. And I'll go to my own horn here. Without my help, she wouldn't be holding her accountable. She wouldn't be where she is today.
Okay.
And it's so for those of you out there, an accountability partner has to be somebody that has the similar mindset as you. Your accountability partner really cannot be your mom or your dad or your brother, your sister, unless they're also business owners as well. Because they're going to come from the let me love you to support you rather than say, hey, I'm going to kick you in the butt right now because that's what you need right now. And you say you're going to do this. And hey, by the way, if you're not going to get this task done, you owe me $100. Your mom's not going to do that. But an accountability partner could hold you accountable. But yes, that having the coach or the mentor is critical. I know in the United States, in any of the big cities, I don't know if they have it in Australia or in Europe or UK, but we have something called the SBA, which is the Small Business Association. The SBA here also has another subgroup called SCORE. And I forget what SCORE is an acronym for, but these are all business owners, the people that have successful businesses that devote 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 hours of their day, of a day per week, giving back to other business owners. So you make an appointment, then you meet up with them, they say, okay, where are you right now? And okay, these are some action steps that you may need to take. You can also get loans through the Small Business Association. Now, again, I don't know if they exist in Australia. Maybe this is something some of the people that are listening to the show could go and research, maybe comment on the video if you do find something like that. But if you're in the U.S., those are at your disposal.
Okay.
So maybe that's the thing you can do some research on, and because if you can find that out, that could be a tool that you're giving to your clients as well. So, oh, by the way, you've got this. So, So, Christopher, we're about to run out of time here. If people wanted to get a hold of you or wanted to contact you, possibly hire you as a coach, or at least do an initial conversation to see if you guys are compatible, how can they get a hold of you right now?
They can contact me on Legacy of Champions. I've got a Legacy of Champions business page on Facebook. That's one way they can contact me. They can send me an email at legacyoChampions@gmail.com. And the third way is they can contact me on my mobile, 0401 679 437. And I'm also doing a special offer, and I'm not going to say for the first 10 clients. This is pretty much for anyone that calls me. I'm willing to do a discovery call with them just to find out where they're at. So this is my special offer to anybody that emails me, contacts me, or shoots me a message via my business page. The first call, I'll do a discovery call with them at a very special price.
Okay. So those of you out there, just to reiterate what Christopher just said, you can call him on his mobile. And I believe for those of you outside of the Australia or at least Sydney, you can use WhatsApp to give you a call. That way you can do international telephone calls. 0401 679 437, or you can find him on Facebook for Legacy of Champions. And this is going to be a logo of two hands covering up each other in case there's another one on there. Yeah. And his name is Christopher Howson, which is Christopher like normal, Howson, Howson. You should see him as the moderator of that Facebook group. And then, as he just said, you can contact him by email at legacyoFchampions with an S. So that's CHAMPIONS@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Did you say Legacy of or Legacy O Champions?
Legacy, I said of. Is it Legacy?
It's Legacy O Champions.
Okay, so there is no F in that.
No.
So legacyoChampions@gmail.com. And he said for the people that are listening to the show, if you give him a call, then you guys can set up a time to do a discovery call where we can see if it's going to be a good match for you or not, which is, I think, is phenomenal. And doing that an initial strategy session discovery call is critical because I may give you a call and we may just not be compatible. I mean, either you as a coach or from your perspective, them as a client, because you don't want to kind of client that's not serious. They know that. So you want to make sure that both of you guys can work together.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Christopher, again, I want to say thank you for being on the show, and I've learned a lot from you. I mean, I've learned that, wow, you want to be a gangster. And the thing is, the fact is, it's those big life changes that people go through that I think you can learn so much from, because I've gone through a lot, you've gone through a lot, and that's how we learn, is going through those big life changes. So thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that with us today.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I've really enjoyed myself today.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm same here. And for those of you, also don't forget to like the video or subscribe to our channel, either on iTunes or on the YouTube channel, or even if you're on the kevinadunlap.com page, go ahead and like it. Leave a comment. We'd love to hear for what you have to say. And I would say for right now, I think we're done. So everybody have a great day. Bye for now.
Cool. Thank you, Kevin.
My pleasure.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Life's Little Lessons with your host, author of Designing Your Own Destiny, Kevin A. Dunlap. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit kevinadunlap.com, facebook.com/kevinadunlap.author, and on Twitter @KevinADunlap. We'll catch you on the next episode of Life's Little Lessons.